Good morning. It's very cold here this morning, so I apologise for the coat. Now, we know that Jehovah's Witnesses are preaching in the streets with their carts. And apparently, if you ask them a question, they will say to you, go to jw.org. Whatever you ask, go to jw.org. Please do not be like that. Please don't say to them, oh, go to the scriptures, that'll be all right. Now, the Apostle Paul in Acts 28 shows that he was in front of a number of Jews, and it says he put his case to them, testifying to the kingdom of God and trying to persuade them about Jesus, arguing from the law of Moses and the prophets, giving them good arguments as to why he believed something. Now, we might not do as well as the Apostle Paul, but whatever reason we have for believing, let us express it, because that will strengthen our faith. Now, why do we need this sort of faith? If we go to the first letter of John, chapter 5 and verse 4, the Apostle John said, "This is the victory over the world, our faith." So what is the world that we need victory over? Well, if we go to chapter 2 and verse 16, it says, "Nothing the world has to offer, the sensual body, the lustful eye, pride in possessions, could ever come from the Father." Now, I can add to that the theory of evolution, which can destroy our faith in God, and then worries over the price of food, over the price of housing and so on. All these worries are things that the world is concerned about. Now, we have a very good example of someone who did conquer the world by his faith, and that's Jesus Christ. In the book of John, chapter 16 and verse 33, Jesus said, "In the world you will have trouble." Now, we know that. All of us have had trouble of some sort, whether it's sickness or worries over the price of food, where we're going to live, losing our possessions, and so on. But he said, be brave. Yes, be brave. Jesus said, "I have conquered the world." Now, that's a very odd thing for him to say, because it looked as if the world had conquered him. If we go back to verse 19, Jesus said to his apostles, "In a short time you will no longer see me." He was going to die. He said, "I tell you most solemnly, you will be weeping and wailing, but the world will rejoice." The world, the Jews, were about to kill Jesus Christ, and they were going to rejoice because they thought they'd stopped this awful Christian movement. They'd stopped the preaching of the good news. But Jesus said to his apostles, "You will sorrow, but your sorrow will turn to joy." And it was barely 3 days later when Jesus was resurrected from the grave and the preaching work continued. Now, Jesus allowed the Jews to kill him. He didn't have to. He could have stopped it. He could have asked for the angels to come and stop this. But he knew it was God's will for him to die, or we would not have had the salvation that we needed. What Jesus went through for us was something to be most grateful for. Now, can we have the same sort of faith? Now, I don't think our faith is going to need to stand up to persecution so much. It might, but it's going to have to stand up to the fears that we're going to face. Now, the world leaders have met at this COP27, and they have not come to any agreement over what to do with the world's climate. So we are now facing at least 2.5 degrees of global warming. We are going to face awful catastrophic events. We're going to worry. We're going to panic, definitely. But will our trust in God save us some of the panic? Well, let it do that. Let us express our faith. Let us explain the reasons why we believe something. Doesn't have to be very much, but strengthen our faith so that we can get through these times knowing, yes, we might go a bit hungry, we might lose our possessions, we might face catastrophic events. God will get us through it. Our sorrow will turn to joy. As Jesus said, be brave. So, dear ones, I will leave you in God's loving care, and we can trust him to get us through anything. So God bless you all. Thank you for watching this morning.